Today we have placed Kawhi Leonard back into his prime where he's 28 years old playing on the Toronto Raptors. And of course the ultimate goal is to win this team a championship, so throughout the process I am going to be rebuilding the Raptors, pulling off trades as I see fit to build the perfect team around none other than Kawhi Leonard. We are starting off in the beginning of the 26-27 season, so let's go ahead and take a look at our rotation. So in the starting lineup, we currently have ourselves Emmanuel Quickley, RJ Barrett, Kawhi Leonard, Scottie Barnes, and Jakob Poeltl. And then off the bench, we have Jacoby Walter, Colin Murray-Boyles, Jamal Sheed, and Jonathan Mogbo. For now, we're not going to make any changes to the roster, but if there's changes to be made in the future, it's definitely going to be the team's three-point shooting, because right now we don't have many good three-point shooters. But let's go ahead and simulate the first few games of this season to see how our team does. And the first game is up against the Utah Jazz, who we end up defeating by 44 points, and whoa. Kawhi Leonard in his first game back on the Raptors drops 48 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, and 1 steal. Already an amazing game from Kawhi, but you know what else would be amazing? If you guys could hit that subscribe button. We're trying to hit 10,000 subscribers this summer, so I would really appreciate it if y'all could hit that subscribe button, and while you're at it, like the video and hype the video. Let's also see if we're able to defeat the Brooklyn Nets and the Washington Wizards and go 3 of 3 for the first week. Whoa, we're going to lose to both teams, but I guess chemistry still does need to be built, so that may take a little bit of time here, but let's also simulate the next week and see how we do. And we just lost 4 games in a row. Okay, so maybe that's a sign that we're going to have to make some trades at the trade deadline, because clearly right now we are off to a rocky start. Starting out this season, we are rolling with a 4-star overall system proficiency balanced under our head coach Darko Rajakovic. And now I'm going to go ahead and simulate here until the trade deadline, where we most likely will be stopping to pull off some trades. Alrighty, we are stopped here at the trade deadline, and currently our team is the number 4 seed with 32 wins and 22 losses. We're not a bad team whatsoever, but we're not as good as I had thought we would be. I do want to upgrade some positions, possibly the shooting guard position from RJ Barrett. I do want to bring in an elite 3-point shooter, so if we're able to do that for RJ Barrett, I'll definitely be making that trade happen. And also for the backup point guard position, Jamal Sheed, we're probably going to be moving on from his 3-point percentage just has not been hitting, and right now we're one of the worst 3-point shooting teams in the league. So let me go out there and see which trades would make most sense, and I'll show you guys once I come up with those decisions. If we are able to make this trade happen, I feel like it would be a major upgrade for our team's roster. So we're going to try and pull off a trade here with the Atlanta Hawks, where we send them RJ Barrett and Jamal Sheed for Nickeil Alexander-Walker and CJ McCollum, both really good 3-point shooters. Let's see what the Hawks say, and they give us a counteroffer. They want Jamal Sheed in the 2nd round pick, and they'll give us DeMar DeRozan, Raptors legend, who sadly was not able to win a championship with the Raptors. But imagine if we bring back DeMar DeRozan and win a championship with him. I don't really know how he would fit on this team. He's not really a good 3-point shooter, but he is shooting the ball well this season. But you know what? Just for the culture, we're going to bring DeMar DeRozan back, and we also get CJ McCollum and Nickeil Alexander-Walker. After pulling off that massive trade, this here is our new rotation. In the starting lineup, we have Quickley, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Kawhi Leonard, Scottie Barnes, and Jakob Poeltl. And then off the bench, we have DeMar DeRozan, Colin Murray-Boyles, CJ McCollum, and Jonathan Mogbo. I would like for you all to comment down below and let me know what you guys think about the addition of bringing DeMar DeRozan back on this team. He was drafted by the Raptors, played a majority of his career on the Raptors up until he was traded for Kawhi Leonard. And now he's going to be our 6th man. He was averaging about 15 points per game for the Hawks, so hopefully he could do the same here with us, shooting 59% from the field. But now I'm going to go ahead and simulate here until the end of this season, where hopefully we go on to win a championship. At the end of this season, Victor Wembanyama goes on to win an MVP, Cam Boozer, Rookie of the Year, Domantas Sabonis, 6-man, Wemby Defensive Player, Asar Thompson, Most Improved, Cade Cunningham, Clutch Player, Chris Finch, Coach of the Year. The Timberwolves are also going to win Executive of the Year. Let's see if we get ourselves any All-NBA selections. We do land Kawhi Leonard on an All-NBA 2nd team. Let's go. Will we get any more awards here? Let's take a look. Kawhi does make it also on an all-defensive 1st team, and that will be it for awards. And we ended this season as the number 3 seed, winning a total of 50 games and losing 32. And honestly, something I kind of regretted after the fact is bringing in DeMar DeRozan, because at the trade deadline, I was saying we need to make our team's 3-point shooting better. But I got so excited about the reunion with DeMar DeRozan, I completely forgot about what we are trying to do, which is make our team's 3-point shooting better. And after bringing in DeMar DeRozan, it actually got worse, which was kind of expected, but it is what it is. At least we ended this season as a number 3 seed. Hopefully we make it far in the playoffs. If not, of course, we're going to make some changes in the off season. But first, let's take a look at player stats here and see how our team did. So prime Kawhi Leonard was averaging 27.5 points per game, 7 rebounds, 4.5 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block per game on 50, 40, 87 shooting splits. So clearly Kawhi had himself a phenomenal season, and then our second leading scorer was Scottie Barnes with 19, 7, and 6, 16 Emmanuel Quickley, 15 Nickeil Alexander-Walker, 14 DeMar, 12 CJ, and 11 from Colin Murray-Boyles. Let's also take a look at team stats here and see how our offensive rating was. So we had ourselves a 9th best offensive rating with the 11th best defensive rating, and we were the 7th best point differential. Okay, and we were making about 11.5 3-pointers per game, which is not the worst, but we were one of the worst 3-point shooting teams, and that's a fact. And now comes time for the playoffs, and of course in the first round we have ourselves a very tough challenge, which is taking on Giannis Antetokounmpo in the Miami Heat. And in their starting lineup they have themselves Davion Mitchell, Benedict Mathurin, Andrew Nembhard, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Bam Adebayo, and this here is their bench unit. Let's get to simulating and see how things go. We do go on to win game number 1. Nickeil Alexander-Walker dropping 29 points, 23 Kawhi, and 16 from Scottie Barnes. Game number 2, we do fall short here, 135 to 129. Kawhi played amazing, so did Scottie, but our defense wasn't the best. In game 3, we also go on to lose, 111 to 108. In this game, Kawhi played amazing, Nickeil did his thing, but sadly we do fall short. Could we at least win game 4? And yes, we can. And whoa, we almost outscored them by 50 points. Nickeil Alexander-Walker had 35, 26 Kawhi, and a 25-point triple-double from Scottie Barnes. So we do still definitely have a chance. It's tied at 2-2 apiece. Let's see if we go up 3-2, and yes, we can. We also go on to win game 5. Kawhi with a 34-point double-double, Scottie 19. Can we close things out in game 6? And no, we cannot. It looks like it will be going to a game 7. Giannis defeats us here. Scottie played amazing, DeMar DeRozan had 19, but Kawhi did kind of struggle. Well, he didn't take as many shots as I would have hoped for him to. And now let's jump into Simcast here for game 7 and see what happens. We do have home court advantage on our side, and so far we have the lead. Back and forth battle, but we do go on to win 124 to 112. Nickeil with 27, Kawhi with 21, and 20 from Quickley. And if I'm being honest here, I thought that the Miami Heat were about to defeat us there, but thankfully we do make it past the first round. So far here in the playoffs, Quickley is averaging 15 points per game, 23 from Nickeil, 25 Kawhi, and 20 from Scottie Barnes. I mean, I am really glad we brought in Nickeil Alexander-Walker. He's definitely going to remain on our team for the foreseeable future, as long as he continues to re-sign with our team. But now let's see who we're taking on here in the second round, and it will be the number 2 seeded Detroit Pistons. They got themselves Cade Cunningham, Isaiah Joe, Ausar Thompson, John Collins, and Paul Reed. And so far here in the playoffs, Cade Cunningham is averaging a 26-point double-double. Let's see how things go. Game number 1, we do end up losing, 102 to 97. Leonard played good, but sadly our team's offense was awful. We do go on to win game 2. Let's go, 123 to 118. CJ 21, Scottie with 2012, 19 from Nah, and 19 from Leonard. Game number 3, we do fall short here. Scottie played good, so did Nah, but we allowed them to score 144 points. Game number 4, we end up losing, and don't tell me we're going to lose here in the second round, and that's exactly what happens. We get eliminated here by the Detroit Pistons. And honestly, that's okay. I was not expecting for us to win a championship in the first year of this rebuild. Anyways, let's go ahead and simulate the playoffs and see which team goes on to win the championship. In the NBA Finals, we have the Detroit Pistons taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder, and the OKC Thunder going to win with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander winning Finals MVP. And here are the player stats for the playoffs in case you guys were wondering. And again, I'm not too hurt that we got eliminated there in the second round. It's the first year of this rebuild, but this offseason, I'm going to try my best to bring in some better 3-point shooters, better defense around Kawhi, so hopefully next year we go on to make it further into the playoffs. And there goes Raptors legend DeMar DeRozan decides to retire this offseason with the same team he was drafted with, the Toronto Raptors, aka our team. So I am happy we actually traded for him. Now he gets to ride out into the sunset. Sadly, we were not able to win him a championship, but at least he still played on the Raptors before retiring. For staff signings, we're definitely going to keep our head coach, Darko Rajakovic. We are not going to fire him. I feel like his chemistry with the Raptors players is way too amazing for us to fire just like that. So we are going to keep him around for now and see how the future goes. And now we do not have ourselves any picks in the 2027 NBA draft. So let's go to team player options and see which team player options we're going to have to pick up here. We are going to pick up the team option for Colin Murray-Boyles, Jacoby Walter, and we will let Gary Neely walk. I'm not sure what we're planning on doing with Colin Murray-Boyles. He's 6'7" center. I'm not sure if that's really going to work in today's NBA, unless he's able to space the floor, but he's not really a good three-point shooter either. Qualifying offers, do we need to re-sign anyone? It doesn't look like we have to re-sign anyone unless I'm mistaken. And yeah, so we don't need to re-sign anybody here in free agency. We do have about, okay, so we could pay CJ McCollum up to $24 million, and I think that's because he was just on our team. So it says we don't have bird rights on him, but from the amount of money we're able to offer him, I do believe we do have bird rights on him. Since we are able to offer CJ McCollum a lot of money, we are going to go ahead and pay him about $10 million. That way we could use his contract this offseason in a trade. We're going to offer him a 2-year deal, paying him $10 million annually. And I'm still going to try and sign someone like Donte DiVincenzo. Good three-point shooter, good defender, could be our 6-man off the bench unit. So let's go ahead and offer him on a 4-year deal, paying him about $4 million annually. It looks like we get both CJ McCollum and Donte DiVincenzo. DiVincenzo on a 4-year, $17 million contract. CJ McCollum on a 2-year, $20 million contract. We could also use ourselves a backup power forward, so I'm going to go ahead and offer Royce O'Neal contract here. He only wants a minimum, so let's go ahead and offer him a 2-year deal. He's still a good 3-and-D player. We'll also offer Grant Williams a deal. He wants a minimum as well. We'll offer him a 2-year deal. Let's see if both players accept. So we do get Grant Williams on a 2-year, $5 million contract, and the same for Royce O'Neal. This offseason, I would like to upgrade our center positions, and right now we are talking with the Indiana Pacers about Ivica Zubac. The Indiana Pacers this past season were one of the worst team and did not even make the playoffs, so maybe they're open to trade away Zubac, and he was averaging about a 15-point double-double. I feel like he would be the perfect starting center on our team. We also get ourselves Aaron Nesmith. So we're offering the Indiana Pacers Jakob Poeltl and CJ McCollum for Ivica Zubac and Aaron Nesmith. They do give us a counteroffer, Royce O'Neal for Derek Castle. You know what? Let's go ahead and pull off this trade. And we are not finished with just that one trade. We're also going to try and bring in Kel'el Ware, a floor spacing big man, and I feel like it would be very ideal for us to have a center that could hit three-pointers, and that's exactly what Kel'el Ware could do. He's a good rebounder, amazing rim protector, and a good three-point shooter. So we're offering the Clippers Colin Murray-Boyles for Kel'el Ware, and they accept the trade straight up, Colin Murray-Boyles for Kel'el Ware. Let's go. And after those two trades, I feel like we have ourselves a pretty well-rounded team. For the point guard rotation, we have Emmanuel Quickley, Donte DiVincenzo. Shooting guard, we have Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Jacoby Walter. Small forward, Kawhi Leonard, and Aaron Nesmith. Power forward, Scotty Barnes, Jonathan Mogbo. In the center rotation, we have Ivica Zubac and Kel'el Ware. So let's go into next season with this roster and see how we do. Alrighty, here we are at the start of this season with our new and upgraded 9-man rotation. So in our starting lineup, we now have ourselves Emmanuel Quickley, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Kawhi Leonard, Scotty Barnes, and Ivica Zubac. And then off the bench, we have Jacoby Walter, Kel'el Ware, Donte DiVincenzo, and Aaron Nesmith. I definitely feel like our team is now a team that can go out there and compete for a championship, but there's only one way to tell if we could, and that's by going and winning ourselves a championship. But now let's simulate the first few games of the season to see how we do. The first game is up against Cooper Flagg and the Mavericks, who we end up defeating 136-102. Scotty 29, Jacoby Walter 23, Zubac in his debut with the 18-point double-double, 15 where Kawhi Leonard had himself 12 points. Can we also defeat the Brooklyn Nets and the Spurs? And yes, we can. And whoa, we scored 160 points on the Nets. Kawhi Leonard with 42 points, 25 and 23, 10 and 9 from Scotty Barnes. And then against the Spurs, Kawhi Leonard had himself 26, Scotty with 24, and 20 from Nickeil Alexander-Walker. I would say that's a pretty good sign. We won all 3 of the first 3 games of this season, and we will be rolling with a 4-star overall system proficiency balanced under our head coach Darko Rajakovic. And now I'm going to go ahead and simulate here until the end of this season, but of course, you guys know if there are any trades to be made, I will be stopping at the trade deadline to show you all. At contract extension day, we did re-sign Ivica Zubac. I was not recording when I did so, but he did sign back with our team on a 3-year, $26 million contract, which means now we have him locked up on a long-term contract. And now at the end of this season, Victor Wembanyama goes on to win a back-to-back MVP. This dude, Rookie of the Year, Darren Peterson, 6-man, Wemby Defensive Player, Kyle Filipowski, Most Improved, Jason Tatum Clutch Player, our head coach, Darko Rajakovic goes on to win Coach of the Year. And now let's take a look at all NBA selections, and we do get ourselves Scottie Barnes on an all NBA third team, but surprisingly enough, we don't land Kawhi Leonard, which I was not expecting to happen. But we do get Kawhi Leonard on an all defensive first team, and will that be it for awards? From the looks of things, yes, it will. And this season we ended up as the number 1 seed, winning a total of 76 games and losing only 6. We were absolutely unstoppable. I knew that we were going to be a very good team, but this blew my expectations. 76 wins and only 6 losses. We just set the new record by any team in NBA history with 76 wins and only 6 losses. Let's go. And now, before we start simulating the playoffs, let's go ahead and take a look at team and player stats. So for player stats, our leading scorer was none other than Kawhi Leonard, averaging 27.7 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and half a block per game. Which is why I'm very surprised he did not make an all-NBA team, but you know what? That's okay. Scottie was averaging 27 and 7, again 3 stocks, so I'm surprised he did not make an all-defensive team. But it is what it is. 20 points per game from Nah, 13 Quickly, 12 Zubac, 11 Jacoby Walter, and 11 from Kel'el Ware. And now let's also take a look at team stats here. For offensive rating, we have the number 1 best offensive rating with the number 1 best defensive rating as well. That is what I'm talking about, and we were making about 15 3-pointers per game. And now it's time for the playoffs, where in the first round, we are taking on the Boston Celtics. They have themselves Peyton Pritchard, Derek White, Paul George, Jason Tatum, and Neemias Queta. If you didn't watch my latest upload where I rebuilt the Celtics, make sure to go check out that video once you finish watching this rebuild. But now let's see how we do here in the first round against Celtics. Game number 1, whoa, we end up losing actually, 128 to 127. This was not what I expected. Kawhi had 22, 21 Nah, and 20-point double-double from Scottie. Game number 2, we do secure the win, 44 points from Kawhi Leonard with 16 rebounds, 26 Nah, and 13 from Aaron Nesmith. Game number 3, we also secure the win, we win game number 4, and we go on a gentleman sweep the Boston Celtics. And in this game, Nickeil Alexander-Walker had 25, 22 Quickly, and 22 from Leonard. And throughout the first round of the playoffs, Quickly is averaging 15 points per game, and then we have 22 from Nickeil, 32 points per game from Kawhi Leonard, and 16 from Scottie. Let's go. And now in the second round of the playoffs, we are taking on the New York Knicks, and they have themselves Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby. They also have Brendan Clark. RIP Brendan Clark, man, again. It's been a few months since he's passed away. Very sad. He was a Canadian, and that's kind of crazy that today we're rebuilding a Canadian team, the Toronto Raptors. And they also have Karl Anthony Towns. But let's see how things go here. Game number 1, we do end up winning. Leonard with 32 and 15, 18 Quickly, and 17 from Kel'el Ware. Game number 2, we do end up losing here, 119 to 100. They outscored us by 19 points, but thankfully we bounced back here in game 3, 126 to 91. Scottie 24, 18 from Quickly. Can we also go on to win game 4? And yes, we can. Leonard 23, 22 Scottie, and 19 from Jacoby Walter, and we go on to win in game 5. Scottie 32, 19 Zubac, and 17 from Quickly. And our boy Scottie Barnes had himself a 15-point triple-double, and just like that, we go on to make the Eastern Conference Finals. And now in the Eastern Conference Finals, we are taking on the Philadelphia 76ers. I do want to let you guys know, out of the 6 games we lost in the regular season, one of those losses was to the Philadelphia 76ers. And they have themselves Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, Jaylen Brown, Justin Edwards, and Joel Embiid, and this here is their bench unit. They were the number 3 seed, and in the Western Conference Finals, we have the defending champs, the OKC Thunder, taking on LaMelo and Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves. But now let's get to our series and see how things go. We do go on to lose game number 1, 118 to 112, Scottie with 22, 21 from Leonard. Can we at least bounce back here in game 2? And whoa, we go on to lose our 2nd game in a row. And this is where I should come up with a defensive coach game plan. Alrighty, I feel like I've come up with a really good coach game plan, a defensive coach game plan. Will that help us win the next few games? Let's see. We will jump into Simcast here for game 3, where the 76ers do have home court advantage. And so far we do have the lead. Can we keep it? And yes, we can. 117 to 105, now with 26, 21 from Quickly. Game number 4, the 76ers have home court advantage once again. And so far we have the lead. Okay, so we do go on to win both games at away when they won both games at our home court advantage. Leonard 23, 14 Walter, and 13 from Scottie Barnes. Game number 5, we also go on to win our 3rd game in a row. Leonard 37, 28 Nah, and a 20-point double-double from Scottie. All we now have to do is win one more game and we make the NBA Finals. I feel like the momentum is on our side since we won 3 games in a row. The 76ers will have home court advantage, and so far we do have the lead here by quite a bit, and it looks like we will be winning 120-98. Scotty with 29, 23 Kawhi, and 15 from Nah. And now in the NBA Finals, we're either going to have to take on the OKC Thunder or the Timberwolves, and it will be Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves. Ant-Man goes on to win Western Conference Finals MVP, Scotty Barnes Eastern Conference Finals MVP, averaging 19, 8, and 8. And honestly, this is probably going to be a very tough challenge. LaMelo Ball and Anthony Edwards, I don't feel like I've ever faced up against this team in the NBA Finals when I'm rebuilding an Eastern Conference team. This is the first time, so let's see how things go. In their starting lineup, they got themselves LaMelo Ball, Anthony Edwards, Ayo Dosunmu, Santi Aldama, and Mitchell Robinson, and this here is their bench unit. Very stacked team. They were the number 4 seed in the Western Conference. Game number 1, we do end up winning 47 points from Kawhi Leonard. He really wants that championship bad. Scotty 25 and 19 from Jacoby Walter. Game number 2, we do end up losing 141-126. Ant-Man also wants that championship ad, and so does LaMelo. Kawhi played amazing, so did Nah, but sadly our defense was awful. Game number 3, we do secure the win. Leonard with a 35-point double-double, and let's go, Zubac with a 23-point double-double. Game number 4, let's go. We just went up 3-1 against LaMelo and Anthony Edwards. Nah dropping 28, 23 Scotty, and 18 from Leonard. And are we going to, gentlemen, sweep the Timberwolves? Yes, we are, to win the Toronto Raptors a championship, with Scotty Barnes winning Finals MVP, averaging 22, 9, and 9. And he was also averaging about 3 stocks per game on 50, 40, 79 shooting splits. Amazing series here by Scotty Barnes. And I have been reading that you guys want these videos to be longer, so we're going to run it back another season to see if we could go out there and win ourselves a back-to-back championship. But before that, let's take a look at player stats here in the playoffs. We played a total of 21 games, and in those 21 games, Kawhi Leonard was balling out, averaging 28 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists with 2 steals and 1 block per game. 19 Nah, 19 Scotty, and 14 from Quickly. And then here are the NBA Finals stats. We had Kawhi Leonard averaging 31, 6, and 5. I would have thought that he was going to win Finals MVP, but I mean, Scotty was almost averaging a 22-point triple-double and 25 from Nah. And now we are in the off season, and there is something I want to let you guys know. So a big change that may happen is Nickeil Alexander-Walker is a free agent. He does have a player option, which I do think he's going to decline that player option. So hopefully we are able to re-sign him here in the off season, because he was a huge part for us winning that championship, and we're definitely going to need him next year if we want to win a back-to-back championship. Otherwise, we're going to have to make some big changes to our roster. But we don't have ourselves any picks in the 2028 draft, so let's go to team player option and see what happens. And now for team player option, as I thought, Nickeil Alexander-Walker does decline his $16 million player option. We don't need this dude. We don't need either of these players. Our only concern we have right now is re-signing ourselves Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Jacoby Walter, we are going to give the qualifying offer to. And will we have bird rights on our boy? And thankfully we do have bird rights on Nickeil Alexander-Walker, so we should be able to re-sign him. And yeah, so thankfully we are able to re-sign Nickeil Alexander-Walker again. If he did become a free agent and we were not able to afford him, that would suck. But I'm going to go ahead and offer him a 5-year deal, player option on that 5th year, paying him about $18.5 million annually. We do also need to re-sign Jacoby Walter. He currently does not have an offer, so first let's go ahead and re-sign Nickeil Alexander-Walker and make sure we get him down on a contract. Jacoby Walter is open to sign a contract extension with a different team, 3-year, $32 million, so let's go ahead and match that and sign both players. We don't really need to sign any players here in free agency since we are running it back with the same team, but what I am going to do is sign ourselves Precious Achiuwa. I feel like this is a new reunion where we're bringing back all the old Toronto Raptors players, so let's go ahead and re-sign him here as well on a 1-year minimum, and he will go on to accept. I also signed ourselves Cam Spencer and Luke Kennard so they could mentor some of our players in that 3-point shooting category. So we are running with the same exact roster, no changes made, and I highly doubt we're going to make any changes this season. So far, we are 17-2, and I'm going to continue simulating here until the end of this season. But of course, if there are any trades to be made, I will be stopping to show you all. So we actually do need to stop here at the NBA Cup Finals because our team has made it here, and we are taking on the San Antonio Spurs. So let's go out there and see if we could win ourselves an NBA Cup. We are taking on the Spurs, and they have home court advantage on their side. And so far we do have the lead here, and it looks like we will be winning 123-113. Kawhi Leonard 23, 19 DiVincenzo, and 16 from Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and Scottie Barnes goes on to win NBA Cup MVP, averaging 24, 7, and 7. At the end of this season, Victor Wembanyama goes on to win his third MVP in a row. Chris Gill, Rookie of the Year, Michael Brown Jr., Sixth Man, Wemby Defensive Player, Bennett Sturts wins Most Improved, Paulo Banchero Clutch Player, Darko Rajakovic, our head coach, wins a back-to-back Coach of the Year. We also go on to win Executive of the Year. Let's take a look at all NBA selections. We do land ourselves Scottie Barnes on an all NBA second team, and we also get Kawhi Leonard on an all NBA third team. Leonard does make it on an all-NBA first team, and we also get Scottie Barnes on an all-defensive second team. Sorry, I meant to say Kawhi Leonard on an all-defensive first team. And we ended this season as the number 1 seed once again, winning a total of 76 games and losing only 6. We had ourselves the exact same record as last year, but now hopefully we're also able to repeat what happened last year in the playoffs, which is win a championship. Let's take a look at player stats here and see how Kawhi did. So he was averaging 25, 7, and 4 with 2 steals and half a block per game. 22 Scottie, 18 Nickeil, and 13 from Zubac. And then when it comes to team stats, we had ourselves the best offensive rating with the number 1 best defensive rating. In the first round of the playoffs, we are taking on the New York Knicks, and they have themselves Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, Dalton Connect, OG Anunoby, and Karl Anthony Towns. I'm not sure how this team was a playing team, but somehow they were, and this here is their bench unit. Let's see how things go. Game number 1, we end up winning 26 from Naw, 21 Leonard, and a 20-point double-double from Scottie. We also end up winning game 2, we win game 3, and we sweep the New York Knicks. And now let's take a look at our player stats throughout the first round. 11 from Quickly, 20 from Nickeil, 23 from Kawhi, and 18 from Scottie. And now in the second round, we are taking on the Miami Heat, the same team that actually eliminated us the first year from the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken. And they have themselves Rob Dillingham, Benedict Mathurin, Andrew Nembhard, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Bam Adebayo. But this time around, we're a much better team than we were then, so let's start simulating here. Game number 1, oh god, did I just jinx it? I really said that, and we go on to lose by 15 points, 136 to 121. Scottie had 29, 27 Leonard, but we do fall short. Oh my, it seems like I just jinxed it. As soon as I said we're a much better team, we go down 2-0, and now this is where I need to come up with a defensive coach game plan. Alrighty, I have now come up with the defensive coach game plan. Will that help us win these next few games? Let's start jumping into Simcast. So we lost both games where we had home court advantage, which means the next 2 home court advantages will be for the Heat. And we start off the first quarter pretty strong. Can we keep this lead? And yes, we can. 144 to 103. Nickeil with 29, 26 Leonard, and 19 from Zubac. Let's jump into Simcast again here, and the Heat do have home court advantage. It's a back and forth battle, but we do end up winning 112 to 102. 24 from Khalil, where he wants to get back on his former team, and that's exactly what he got here, leading the way with 24 points. 21-10 from Leonard. I'm not sure why Leonard isn't scoring all that many buckets as he used to the first 2 seasons, but hopefully he starts scoring more buckets here. So far here in the playoffs, Nickeil has been struggling big time from his 3-pointer, and the same for Quickly. We need them to start hitting their shots like before. And Jacoby Walter is playing pretty awful as well, I'm not gonna lie. 26% from the 3-point line, 37 from the field compared to the regular season. But now let's jump into Simcast. Game number 5. If we win this, we go up 3-2, and we do have home court advantage. It looks like we will be winning 132 to 118. Scottie 24, 18 Zubac, and 16 Nah. All we have to do now is win one more game. Simcast, the Heat have home court advantage. Can we go out there and win this game? So far, we do have the lead, and yes, we end up winning 125 to 112. Scottie dropping 25, 6, and 7. Nah 19, and whoa, Kawhi Leonard only shot 7 attempts, but he did make 6 of them. Again, I'm not sure why he's not shooting all that many buckets, but thankfully we do go on to make the Eastern Conference Finals, and now we're taking on the Indiana Pacers. And they have themselves Tyrese Haliburton, Andrew Nembhard, Jarris Walker, Yaxel Lendenberg, and Donovan Clingan. Will we be able to make it to the NBA Finals? Well, there's only one way to find out, and that's by defeating the Pacers. Game number 1, we do end up winning, and there we go. That's what we need from our star player Kawhi. 38, 8, and 8 with 4 steals, 32 Scottie, and 17 from Quickly. Game number 2, we also end up winning. Leonard 26, 24 Nah, and 20 from DiVincenzo in 18 minutes. Can we also win game 3? And yes, we can. Leonard 25 and 12, 21 quickly, and 18 from Nah. And we go on to sweep the Indiana Pacers. Scottie leading the way here with a 38-point triple-double. Let's go. And now it looks like we're either going to have to take on Cooper Flag and the Mavericks or the Memphis Grizzlies, and it will be... Whoa, I said Cooper Flag and the Mavericks. Little did I know they also have Nikola Jokic. And Nikola Jokic goes on to win Western Conference Finals MVP, averaging a 29-point triple-double. Kawhi Leonard, Eastern Conference Finals MVP, averaging 39 and 4. And that means in the NBA Finals, we are taking on the Dallas Mavericks, and they have themselves a really good lineup. They have DeJounte Murray, Isaiah Joe, Cooper Flag, PJ Washington, and Nikola Jokic, with Grady Dick coming off their bench, Koa Pete, Noah Clowney. Really stacked team, the same for Daniel Gafford. And their starting lineup, just by having Cooper Flag and Nikola Jokic, is enough to make this team a championship contender. But let's see how things go. Game number 1, we do end up winning. Kawhi leading the way here with 27, 20, 10, and 8 from our boy Scottie. Game number 2, we also secure the win. Let's go. Leonard with a 32-point double-double, 21, 9, and 6 from Scottie. Can we also go to win game 3? We do fall short here in game 3. Leonard played good, but sadly the rest of the team did not score all that many buckets. Game number 4, we secure the win, 122 to 117. Nah leading the way here with 37 points, 21 Scottie, and 15 from Leonard. And now all we have to do is win one more game. We do have home court advantage here for game 5. Can we go out there and secure the win? Let's see. And yes, we can. Winning this game 118 to 107. Kawhi with 25, 7, and 4, 4 steals, 19 Neesmith, and 17 from Nah. And that means we go on to win the Toronto Raptors a back-to-back championship, and this year Kawhi Leonard goes on to win Finals MVP, averaging 25, 7, and 5 with 2 steals, half a block, well 0.2 blocks, shooting 46% from the field. Let's go. And that is an amazing way to end out this video, winning the Raptors a back-to-back championship. Let me show you guys the player stats before we end things out here. So we played a total of 19 games in the playoffs, and in those 19 games, Kawhi Leonard was a leading scorer, averaging 24, 7, and 4 with 2 steals and half a block per game. 21 Scottie, 17 Nah, 12 from Zubac, and 12 from Kel'el Ware. And then in the NBA Finals, where we played a total of 5 games, the leading scorer once again was Leonard, averaging 25, 7, and 5. 18 Scottie, 16 Nah, and 12 from Zubac. And now that is going to be it for today. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new for more NBA 2K26 rebuilds, and click here on the screen to watch my latest upload. Until next time, it's your boy Dragon, and I'm out. Peace.